Okay, so on the first one, you have a kayaker spends an afternoon paddling on a river. She travels 3 miles upstream and 3 miles downstream. So we're going to use this formula, distance. Do you guys know what distance equals? Rate times time? You don't learn that in like physics or something? Chemistry or? Distance equals rate times time. So what would time equal here? Or how would you get time by itself?
Distance divided by
You
rate.
would divide it by rate. So time is equal to distance divided by rate. Okay, so on these problems, if you have your phone out, put it away. We're on the new notes now. Distance, time equals distance over rate. Okay, so you're going to make this little box, and it's going to be really helpful. So we're going to have a column for each one. So we're going to have a distance column, we're going to have a rate column, and we're going to have a time column.
You're talking about for every problem?
Yes, for these three, yeah.
That's rough.
Okay, so you have this person who's going upstream and downstream in a total of 4 hours. In still water, it says they travel on an average speed of 2 miles per hour. Based on this information, what's the average speed of the river's current? So there's what our variable is. Do you want to use a C or an X for your variable?
And X.
Use an X, okay. So X is the average speed
Smile. How many cookies does Jimmy have?
of the river's current. The average speed of the river's current.
I know it's 3 months and they said nothing about on the announcement.
Okay, so on your little chart, you're going to have your distance column, your rates, and your time. This is going to be your upstream, listen, and your downstream. You have multiple types of these problems on your test on Friday. You have got to know how to do them because there's 4 different kinds. Okay, so you've got upstream and downstream. It's the same thing like, I think number 3 has the same type of thing. You're going in town and out of town. Okay, so you're going to have 2 different things you're talking about here. So what's the distance that they travel upstream? 3 miles. What about downstream? 3 miles. Okay, so that's nice and easy. Now, your rate. This one's the kind of tricky part. We're going to take the, where is it? The average speed, so 2. So if I'm doing the rate here and I'm going upstream, we're going to subtract the current. Faster, so we're going to add the current. If you're going downstream, the current's with you, so now instead of your average speed being whatever it is, you're going to go faster. Okay, then the time is the easy one because it's just distance over rate. So we're going to take what we have here. Distance is 3 divided by 2 minus x. And then this one is 3 divided by 2 plus x. These are probably the worst ones. Tomorrow's are easier than this, I think. And then last week's I think are easier than this. So this is the worst one. Okay, so our equation is going to be the time going upstream plus the time going downstream is going to equal the total time. Really scary. So you have your time going upstream, that's why I did the up arrow. You have your time going downstream, and then you have your total time. Let's start with the total time. What is the total time it takes? 4 hours. So the 4 is going to go over here. They give you that, the 4 hours. And then the other part comes from here. Your time upstream is 3 divided by 2 minus x plus, and then your downstream, 3 divided by 2 plus x.
So, would the 4 be over 1?
Yes, so the 4 is just over 1. So what would the LCD be for this problem?
2 plus x.
2 minus x, 2 plus x. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and start by multiplying each piece by the LCD. I would leave it separated like that. I'm gonna have to go to a new page to do that part. Do this. What was that? 3 over 2 minus x. So multiply everything by the LCD. So 2 minus x, 2 plus x. 2 minus x, 2 plus x. So most of you are to the point where you can solve this problem. It's just getting the problem set up. That's the hard part. So if we cross out what's common here, the 2 minus x, so we have 3 times 2 plus x, plus 3 times 2 minus x, equals, nothing crosses out over here, so we have 4 times 2 minus x, 2 plus x. Where at? No, you would multiply, it will be 16. I'm gonna multiply these two first before I distribute the 4. So over here, if we distribute, we get 6 plus 3x, distribute the 3, plus 6 minus 3x, equals, I'm gonna leave the 4 for a second and multiply this part out. What does this look like to you? When you look at these two pieces here, and we talk about all of our factoring types, what kind of factoring does that look like?
4.
It looks like a
4x
difference
squared.
of 2 squares,
Yeah.
where you have, normally we see it like x minus 2, x plus 2. If you don't see that, it's fine, you can multiply it out. So 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times x is 2x, negative x times 2, and negative x times x. So this one just has a lot of simplifying to it.
Do we just,
Combine like, I would combine like terms first.
okay.
Because when you combine like terms over here, these are cancel. So now on the right hand side, we have 4 times 4 minus x squared. What happens over here? Right, you have a positive 3x and a negative 3x, so we just have 12. So now distribute the 4. 12 equals 16 minus 4x squared. How do you solve for x squared? Minus 16. So negative 4 equals negative 4.
Maybe I'll save all this stuff.
Divide by negative 4. For occurrence. I feel like I did something. I'm recording it for the true. Square root to get x by itself. So what does x equal? What's the square root of 1? Just 1, and so that is the current. So we'll say 1 mile per hour. So there's a lot of work after you set it up because it's such a lengthy problem, but it's the same type of problems you've been solving. Yes, we did all that for 1 mile per hour. Train A travels 104 miles in the same amount of time it takes train B. So this part is nice because what that's going to do is instead of saying like train A plus train B equals a total, because they're the same, we're just going to set them equal to each other. So if you want to write yourself a note, set equal to each other. When it says the same amount of time. Okay, so let's say you want to use x again. Is that all right? X is going to be the speed of train A. Actually, I think I used B bubble. Train A. I did use B, and I'll show you why. This one's tricky. All
This
three
was
of these.
easy.
Well, it's easier than the first, like when you get to solving it. But the whole thing is you have to be able to set it up, and that's the hard part. So we have distance, rate, and time. We're going to have train A and train B. Okay, so the first column where you have your distance, they gave you that. So what goes in this box right here? How far does train A travel?
104 miles.
104 miles. And B?
96 miles.
96 miles. Okay, now the rate part, it says train A had a rate of speed that was 4 miles per hour more than train B. So we said X was the speed of train A. So if we put X here, what would go here?
X minus 4.
X minus 4, good. Okay, if you don't like that and you like the more than, then you switch these two. So then I would say B, you put X here and X plus 4. But if you can figure that out, which it sounds like you can, then that's perfect. Okay, so then for our time, it's just, look at your formula, distance divided by rate. So distance, 104 divided by rate, X. And then this one, 96 divided by rate, X minus 4. So we're just setting those equal to each other because it's the same amount of time. This one said it took a total of 4 hours, so that's why we have to add them. Here, it's the same amount of time. So we have train A is equal to train B. So what's the LCD on this one? Perfect. The LCD is X and X minus 4. X and X minus 4. So you multiply both sides by the LCD. So we have X times X minus 4. X times X minus 4. So what can I cross out on the left? The X's. So we get 104 times X minus 4 equals, that crosses out, 96X. So distribute the 104. Ooh, what's 104 times 4? 400 is 16. Oops. 416, thank you. So how do you solve for X? Yeah, so track the 104 to the right. I'm gonna have to scroll down. I'll just go down here. So negative 416 is equal to, what is that? Negative 8x? Divide by negative 8. 52. So X equals 52. We're talking about a train speed. So let's say miles per hour.
This one seems to have less work.
Yeah, this had a lot less work. You didn't have the two big fractions.